What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Looks like we're back and we're joined with the WBA world champion, Eimantas Stanionis. Are you there? Where you guys have him at? Oh, okay, he's over here. How are you, brother?
Hello. Good. How are you?
We're good, we're good. So where are you? Sound like there's a waterfall. Is that us or that's him?
Maybe you?
Oh wow, yeah. Maybe the headphones you think? Bluetooth maybe?
Possibly.
But champ, how are you? How you feeling? Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll try and get him back on. Looks like we're having some sort of
Technical
technical
audio
difficulties.
difficulties here,
And
but,
for all you little pronunciation whores in the chat, it's my show. I'm gonna pronounce his name the way that I can, and he'll correct me. All right.
champ,
So it's Stanionis.
Hello, how are you?
We're good. We're good. Am I finally getting it right?
Yes,
Yeah.
perfect.
But it's the first name I butchered, right?
Yeah, little bit. Little bit.
So how are you feeling, man?
Good. Exciting news. I got finally my fight date. No, not fight date, the opponent, So it was long time because of this boxing business. That's what I hate most about boxing. So I'm glad I have a, opponent.
What time is it over there? Because you're like 10 hours ahead of us, right?
Yeah, it's 10:36 p.m.
Oh wow. Do you usually stay up this late?
I go sleep at 12.
So you're in Lithuania now?
Yes, I'm in Lithuania. I will go to US in like 2-3 weeks.
Oh wow. So you already have a date to come back. And any plans to relocate permanently, or you will always live where you're living at?
I will live, I think, in Lithuania all the time because I love my country, and US is different from Europe.
Mm. What would be the one thing you recommend that a tourist has to see in Lithuania?
Oh, I think the most thing it's my city. It's a little bit different. We have like all the history, and downtown is pretty nice.
What kind of history?
It was, before it was like, eh, how you say, like everything was different. Now our town, they spend a lot of money making better streets and everything, like more new restaurants, everything.
you
You
got
can find some things, of course. It's not US. You don't have to you will not find a lot of things to do over here.
So would you say it's more countryside?
I live in town. It's like small town. It's hard to compare, because in US everything is big. Here is a little bit different, but usually in summer we go to the sea, Baltic Sea. So there is like everything. You can party, you can train, you can do jet ski, everything.
When you won the WBA world title and you went back home, how were you received? Did you see how
Oh,
Sandor Martin was received when he beat Mikey Garcia, and was it as big and extravagant as that?
yeah, it was huge. It was huge. Everybody now recognize me, on the streets. So I have a lot of attention, First it was like hard. I am very private guy, I like to stay quiet, and do the job on my own and quietly training. But now I have a lot of attention and I need to go to a lot of places.
Is there any frustration on your part? Because obviously, if you would have gotten your WBA mandatory, you get an opportunity to fight for 3 belts and supremacy, right? Like if you beat Earl, people think you're the man because you beat the man. Now the WBA gives you this mandatory with Vergil, it's kind of another roadblock before you can get to Earl? Or are you okay because you know that the world wants Earl to negotiate with Terrence Crawford and give us that fight?
Yeah, it was hard, because like with step aside money, it was like we were promised, the winner of me and Butai will fight Spence, or of the winner Ugas and Spence. So I supposed to fight Spence, and I was thinking I will fight him, but I learned a lot during this time because I haven't fought in 9 months. When I will fight, it will be like a year. So it's difficult. Of course, I'm upset, but I know and I understand I'm a like small fish in the big pot. So I have to play, I guess, by their rules.
When did you realize, oh, wow, I'm not going to fight the winner of Earl and Ugas? When was that brought to your attention? When was that no longer an option?
When they were negotiating the Spence and Crawford fight, I was promised, to fight them on their card against somebody. So, and then I will fight the winner of them. But I was hearing that it was like rematch clause, everything. So I didn't know exactly. I just wanted to fight. I don't want to be like these inactive fighters, and fight once a year. I need experience, to be honest. I have only 14 fights in professional rankings, and I need experience, and I want to fight, all the guys, but they are holding us up. I don't know the reason.
So, do you think that you would be able to get kind of a tune-up fight before the Vergil fight? Is there time for that since there is no date for the Vergil Ortiz fight yet?
No, I will go straight into the Vergil's against Vergil. It's not going to be any tune-up fight. I will go straight to fight him.
This is something that Adrian Broner has been very vocal about over the last year, most specifically on the Porterway podcast about a few days ago, that fighters your age are being robbed of your prime because you're not fighting for 9 months, 12 months, 18 months when you're in your prime, when you're supposed to be your best. You're not old. You don't have wear and tear. How do you feel about this inactivity, and what do you think boxing needs to do to change that for the sport and for the fighter specifically?
I agree. We are fighters and we want to fight. So what we can change, I think, the promoter is supposed to get, everybody on board and look at the like welterweight division or any division. Okay, let's say there is so many good fighters and upcoming fighters, and everybody deserves to get a shot. That's why I like UFC. You climb the rankings, you have like number one spot, mandatory, and you fight for a title. If you lose, you go and fight, other fighters. So I think promoters have to come together, and you can mix and match. There is so many good fights. Even if you lose, you can bounce back and fight other fighters.
Champ, I gotta ask, what were your thoughts to see Golden Boy win that purse bid? I was a bit surprised. Were you surprised at all to see them win the purse bid?
Yeah, I suppose like PBC will win the push bid. They tried, they were very close, but they didn't. So it is what it is.
No concern on your end with them basically having control of the card at this point?
I'm a fighter, I have to win. I have to do everything in my power, what I can. What I can control, I can control. So the most thing, I have to prepare and go into the fight like fully prepared.
I want to follow up on that because before the purse bid results were announced, I read your Facebook post, and I want to hope that's your Facebook because it was damn sure spot on. You said that even though you guys won the purse bid, this fight still isn't even though the purse bid is there, this fight wasn't guaranteed because of the split. Do you now believe that Vergil Ortiz is okay with the split because Golden Boy won the overall bid and control of the fight?
Yes, I think he has like contract with like the zone, and he will get some side money also. So, and I did all the job. I fought other guys, tough guys, and I'm the champion. So I was in the same position when I was mandatory for Ugas. It was the same split.
And I know you said you need the experience because you only have 14 fights. So again, I just want to double back kind of like you're okay with fighting Vergil because you get the experience versus
Yeah.
looking at it like a roadblock of another obstacle in front of the Earl Spence fight.
If I can choose, of course, I will go into like Crawford fight or Spence fight. But now he's hungry lion. I'm hungry lion, and we are young. We don't have a huge name in US like he has. I'm not, so I have to go through him to get a good name, and then I hope there will be no obstacles.
How different do you think? I know it's different styles. I understand that. So please don't think that my question is that obvious. But how different do you think the fights are going to be between Vergil and Butayev? And the reason I ask is obviously Butayev is very tough. He was dirty. I was afraid for you in that fight going into it because of how he treated Jamal James. He uses his forearms. He's a little cheater in my opinion. And Vergil is not, but they're both strong. What are some of the differences you see in those fights?
Stylistically, I think Butayev is a little bit more hard to adapt because he changes the stances and he hits you behind the back, behind the air, everywhere.
How do you
So you
prepare
have to
for
be
that?
careful. You can't prepare for that. It's you have to have something inside. It's do or die. That fight was for me do or die. I knew he's tough. I knew he is like very good fighter. He had like 400 amateur fights. So you can take nothing from him. So he's a good fighter, but yeah, he's very dirty. And my face was like marked up a lot because of the headbutts. When everything didn't went his way. Then he started come with a head to my head. And I got like bumps on my on my head. So I don't know, like styles. Yes, stylistically, I think Butayev is more difficult than Vergil. But Vergil, maybe he's stronger, because he has like 19 fights, 19 knockouts. But everybody can punch, and it's about opposition. What kind of opposition you fight?
But do you look forward to the Virgil fight more because it's less to worry about? Like, again, like you said, going into the Butayev fight, he punches behind the head. You know that he's a sneaky fighter. So those things, I'm assuming, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm assuming they're on the forefront of your mind because of that, or are they not? And you worry about it as it comes during the fight.
Yeah, I agree. You're right. Yeah, I was like aware of the punches, behind the back, and I was like, yeah, a little bit nervous, because it's referee's job, to take a point or say to him like you can't do this or you can't do that. But yeah, I tried, to cover as much or lean my head down, to to not to get that punch, behind the back.
So in the Virgil fight, is the game plan maybe to try and take him to deep water because he got all the knockouts? Is it just, stay away from the power? Like, how do you approach a fight with a guy, like you said, with 100% knockout ratio?
Yeah, I don't know how to fight backwards, so it's do or die. I will go in there and we are going, toe to toe, and it's going to be a good fight. I know he is strong and young, and for me, this fight, it's like if I will win this fight, I'll get my name, in U.S. market. So that's good for me. If I will lose, yeah, it's not good. So I have to do everything in my power to get the victory.
When and how did you meet Richard Schaefer? How did that relationship come about?
I signed with Ringstar in 2017 after Olympic Games, and But most of the fights I fought on PBC, because he has relationship with Al Heyman, and then it was like mandatory, and my contract extended because they pushed me to be a mandatory. So when you're fighting for a belt, it's automatically extending for 2 years.
So is Marvin the head trainer, or does Freddie train you? Like, what's going on over there? And I mean Marvin Samodio, for
Freddie,
those that don't know who I'm speaking, I'm talking Marvin Samodio from California.
yeah. So Marvin Somodo is my main trainer, but also my Lithuania coach. He trains me here in Lithuania. We do all the workouts, but they also Marvin and my Lithuanian coach, they speak, and they make schedules for me. So my Lithuanian coach was in my corner last fight, but Marvin, yeah, he is a head trainer.
How'd that come about? What drove you or attracted you to Marvin? I mean, I don't know any big name fighter. I want to say Masito Gesta. He's worked obviously with Cotto as an assistant with Freddie, but does he have Danny? You know, like you might be the biggest name he's got, right?
Yeah, I'm his first world champion, but speaking about the names, like most of the trainers, when they have a lot of world champions, they don't have time for you.
Mm-hmm.
You have to adapt and do this and that, and they not always have time for you. They give to somebody, to train some days. So Marvin is the exception. He works hard, very hard. He takes care of the fighters, and he spends most time for you. He gives all, because I have a dream. I had a dream to become world champion. He had a dream, and I think we are good bond.
What was it about him, like in terms of trainer? Like, what is it from his boxing mind that gave you confirmation? Yeah, this is where I want to train. This is who I want to be taught from.
Yeah, we just clicked, when we hit a pads, when we speak about training, what's good, what's bad. I'm the kind of guy. I don't need like even like somebody to push me. I push myself, through the limit. So I just need sometimes to somebody say stop. You need to take a rest or day off. So he's perfect for me. And we just clicked. So let's put it that way.
Champ, um, I'm curious, have you sat down to see any tape on Virgil yet? Or is that something that typically Marvin takes care of and then you guys talk about it? How much of Virgil have you seen?
I saw a lot. I was fan of him. I'm fan of the sport also because I watch all the fights. Who's coming up and who's good, and I saw the guy from my hometown. He fought Mean Machine, against Vergil. So I was watching that fight live for sure.
Okay.
But Marvin takes care of everything, because I don't like, to see what the fighter do wrong or good. I just see, if he changes the stances and what's the most punches he throws, what's the favorite punch for him, and I have this in mind, and that's it. In the ring you have to adjust and make and adapt, and find the key to victory.
So I got some questions here from the people. One is coming from Ruin the 504. He says, will you finally dominate the 147-pound division? Do you see yourself moving up to 147? So, excuse me, he said when you finally dominate it, do you see yourself moving up to 154?
Yeah, for sure. I want to, become two weight classes world champion. So that's my goal, and eventually I will move up later on. But also, I will try and see how my weight is in this training camp. Maybe I'll go 140. Who knows?
Oh, wow. You think you can go down?
I think, I will tell you after this fight.
What is bigger for you? Is it bigger to fight Vergil Ortiz next, or for your promoter to announce that you're fighting Regis Prograis for the WBC at 140 next?
I don't even know.
That's the
I don't
same
know.
promoter. You
I
know
think
that.
Vergil. Yeah, I think Vergil because it's like huge fight.
Mm. So going back to Marvin, you said you leave everything to him when it comes to the tape. Do you also leave it to him for the selection of the sparring partners?
No, we talk. That's what I like about him. I see one side from me, what I see and what I need, what I feel. Sometimes I feel sparring partners, and sometimes at wildcard, well, few times happened when I supposed to spar one guy like 8 rounds, and I go in sparring pretty hard, and Marvin left, to Texas for some fight or somewhere, and the guy didn't show up. So I was mad. We spoke, that we need to find maybe like two guys, to have just in case.
Okay. And do you think it'll be difficult, or is it easier since you're holding camp in California to find a style that will mimic Vergil Ortiz?
It's hard to find his style, fighters.
Really?
So, but we will try to adapt, we have some, in mind already. We have at wildcard, and we will bring some sparring partners also. Everything will be okay. We already spoke about this and who's going to be, sparring partners.
I'm just
So I
being
think we
nosy.
have good
I'm just
choices.
I'm just being nosy and trying to give entertainment to the fans. They like these sorts of things. You think that it would be good to bring in 154 pounders because it will replicate the power, or at least the blows that you're receiving, quote unquote, will match or be comparable to his power?
Mm. Yeah, we will bring the heavier guys also, but in Lithuania I spar with heavyweights. I sparred
Wow.
in wildcard like with light heavyweights. It doesn't matter. I can take the punch.
So I got James Valdez in San Antonio, Texas, that says, where do you reside here in the United States, and how often do you go back to your country? And how are you treated back home? Are you a celebrity status? You pretty much answered all that, but if you feel you want to add, it's okay.
Yeah, I feel like I'm now celebrity, I'm one of the best athletes in Lithuania. All eyes on me now, especially with this fight.
I love it.
Everybody is watching and waiting. So yes, but in California, I go for like 2 months for a training camp, and I love California a lot, and US. It's a good place to be and just train, like being locked in training camp.
Any beaches near Lithuania where you live?
We have Baltic Sea. There is like that's the most famous beach. It's
Mhm.
like it's called Baltic Sea. So everybody goes there in the summer because we have like very short summer, like 2-3 months,
Mm.
and that's it.
Damn, so
Now it's cold. It's like 15.
wow. Wow, so you love the cold. Oh no. I got Victor
No, no, I
Banuel.
don't. I hate cold.
Me too, but you're staying in Lithuania, so you love the cold if you only got 3 months of summer. I got Victor
It
Banuelos.
makes you tougher.
Makes you tougher. Yeah, that's why Rocky went out there to train. I got Victor Banuelos from California that says, what is the most delicious plate of food that you can recommend for someone who might want to visit your home country of Lithuania?
Oh, so we have like our traditional food. It's called cepelinai. It's like potato with a meat.
Mm.
So it's really good. It's very different. We will not find in US anywhere.
What's your favorite dish here in the U.S.? Or do you not get to enjoy it because it's always training camp?
I never enjoy food. Even in Lithuania, I eat healthy. I live like really healthy lifestyle. So I don't have any cheat days.
Okay. Okay. Well, those are all my questions, Danny. If you don't have anything else, I guess I do have to ask you though. Like, do you think this fight with Earl and Terrence is gonna actually happen, or?
To be honest, I don't think so. And secondly, I don't care anymore.
Ooh.
I was excited for this fight. But when it fall apart, now I don't care. Even if they will fight, I will not watch.
Did you see the video of Jaron Ennis saying that he was excited thinking that he was gonna fight you, and now he's got to fight Karen, or you didn't know?
Yeah, I saw. But it's easy to say when I have a fight, But before, nobody said nothing and nobody sent the contract. When Vergil became my mandatory, then he started to talk. I told my manager, I will fight anybody. Like, honestly, anybody. I don't care. I need to earn my name in US market, so I have to go hard road, not easy route. So
So, in your opinion, was there an easier route between Boots and Vergil, or is it equally the same difficulty in your opinion, or do you still see one more difficult than the other from the outside looking in?
it's hard to tell, because of the styles. It's different, and until you get in the ring with a fighter, it's hard to say. Like, really, I can't say this. They are both good fighters and both talented. And Ennis is very talented, I know. But can I hang with him? Yes, for sure. Can I win? Yes, for sure. I have the will.
Have you ever been face to face? Have you been able to size him up, see how big he really is?
He's not so big. Yeah, I saw when they fought Delorme on the same card. He fought Lipinets.
So he's not big to you.
No, he's normal size.
So he could get it next.
Yeah, for sure.
Stanionis, thank you for coming on. If you want to give out your
Man, give a message to Vergil, man, because I feel like a lot of people are overlooking you, champ. I think that you're not getting the respect that you deserve, and I'm looking forward to the fight. So I want to hear a message to Vergil Ortiz.
I can give the message to the fans because they have to watch this fight. I'm not going to lay down. I will do all my best to get the victory, and it's going to be a banger. That's for sure.
Let's go, champ. We can't wait.
Last one sliding in from Houston says, "What's up, Stanny? Thanks for coming on the show. With the unwanted activity, what do you think about fighters signing contracts with time frame triggers? Meaning, if a promoter don't get a fighter a fight within a certain time frame, then it triggers a consolation check for missing the date. What do you think?"
That will be perfect, because we get money only for fights. So when we are sitting on the sideline, to be honest, I supposed to fight September, then October, then November, then December, and then January. And all these dates, I was always in shape. I was ready. Two times I almost bought a ticket to fight to US, and finish my training camp, and everything fall apart. So it's sad, and you spend money on training camps, and you can't live like normal life. I feel sometimes I'm in jail. I
Wow.
have to do these things over and over and again, and I can't go anywhere, enjoy life, because I have like pressure, because I have to be ready.
Wow. Are you married?
I have fiance, yes.
So is boxing pushing back the wedding date? And the reason I ask, not being nosy, it's relative. Obviously, Regis Prograis, who I mentioned earlier, he is in some failed negotiations with Jose Ramirez, who didn't take a title shot because he had to get married. And now he's back in that title shot opportunity with Regis as the champion versus fighting for a vacant. So yeah, I just wanted to ask you, because he made it public, like, I didn't take the title shot because I promised my wife we would get married. We were engaged for 3 years. So just want to see where that is for you and how difficult that is for you, because that could be adding to the pressure as well.
It depends on the woman. I'm lucky I have a good woman. She understands everything. That boxing gave everything for me, and it's my life. Boxing is my life. So we spoke about this, and she's okay with everything. What I will choose, she knows I will choose the right decision, and I will make the right decision.
So you don't have a date?
Not yet, because of the fights, and everything. So I want to focus now on the fight, and then we will see.
Do you think, hypothetically, right? You beat Vergil. Now you're being offered your title shot. You find yourself in the same predicament as Jose Ramirez, where you did give her a date. That date is approaching. So it's either marry or take the fight. Can't do both. What are you doing?
Take the fight. Take the fight. Like I said, I'm lucky man. My woman understands these things.
Now let me ask you though.
These things can wait, you know.
But let me ask you, are you saying that? Do you think that you would have chose the route that Jose Ramirez chose had you already become world champion? Because remember, he's already been unified. He lost to Josh Taylor. So after that, you know, he's a former champ, but he's already won the IBF and the WBC at 140. So do you think that if that was your situation, then yes, maybe you would handle it different, or still title shot because accolades means putting you in the history books?
I was reading, you know, differently because he got like during the COVID, he has like postponements of the fights and everything. But for me, it's legacy and the fights because the career of the athlete is very short, you know, and the short frame of time you have to, you know, do your best, be active and fight. And later on, you can live your life.
Wow. You're going to win a lot of fans over with that mentality, man. They know that you mean business and everything else is to the back. I do have one last question that slid in. New York Bullet says, what's up, champ? It's his infamous question. He loves saying this. And he says, if you can fight any legend in a dream fight, who would that be?
Marvin Hagler.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. No wonder you want to fight Boots. You don't care. You're not afraid of power at all.
Why Marvin, champ?
Wow.
No. Why you have to be, you know, afraid of power?
I mean, not afraid, but you know that the fight, you know, if a guy is a puncher, the fight can be over at any moment. At least if, and no disrespect to Michael Fox, but we're talking welterweights, right? Like, you're not expecting Michael Fox to knock you out, but maybe that can happen versus Vergil, right or wrong?
Yes, for sure. But I like challenges. I like to, you know, to see where I am, what I can achieve, and, you know, when the times get tough, what I will do, you know. It's sink or swim for me.
No, that's amazing. I'm telling you, this is exactly what fight fans need to hear. This is the type of stuff that, you know, have them be attracted to your personality, because this is a dog-eat-dog world, you know, and fight fans don't care about marriages and wives. They just want to see you fight. So for you to have that attitude, you know, I'm sure they're going to get behind you. But look, I don't want to keep you any longer. I want to thank you, obviously, for coming on. I do want to apologize if you feel I offended you in any way with any of our edited clips. Now, remember, I'm not editing that shit. I might be saying it, but I'm not putting it together to make it look all shiny. But, yeah, you know, we love you around here. We've been following you from the beginning, and we appreciate you, you know, being the bigger man and giving us a second opportunity. And we hope the best for you and Vergil. But if you can, before you go, is there like a dream location for the Vergil fight? Not dream, but I guess like the most realistic location you would like it to land at.
I would love to fight, you know, in LA. Well, thanks, guys, you know, for having me. It's okay, you know. I understand, like you said, you know, sometimes everybody is like boxing is speculation, and I understand that it's all love.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Give out that social media for anybody crazy enough not to be following you.
Yeah, you can follow me on Instagram, Eimantas Stanionis.
All right. Thank you so much. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Your WBA world champion going to be taking on Vergil Ortiz. I'm excited. I really, really enjoy that type of attitude. What up, YouTube family? Don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Help us get to that 1 million subscribers. We're on the road to 1 million. And obviously, we have other great content on our Patreon channel. So since this video is over, head on over to our Patreon and check out all the exclusive content, or right here on our YouTube members.